Robert with WTP Sports Dudes here live on this Tuesday night, ready for another edition of Across the Board. We're going to be talking about coaches getting fired and what might happen because of a coaching carousel that's probably going to take place. And we also got our man Sean B, who's going to give us his SEC power rankings. Let's introduce some of our guests today. We got our man FanDuel Zaya of the FanDuel Zaya podcast. How you feeling this evening, FanDuel?
Man, I'm good, man. I can't complain about nothing. You know what I mean? Y'all know what it is. We are back with another banker.
And we also got our man Sean B with us, straight from Texas. How you feeling, Sean B?
Man, we doing it. Been combing schedules
Good.
today. SEC came out with their schedule for the next 4 years today. Crazy.
Yeah, I saw that, man. And I was
It's
looking at some of them, like some of them teams, they got
boy,
something nice, man.
they
Like
love
what?
Alabama. Woof.
They love Alabama, bro.
Oh,
They love Alabama. I looked
they
at
hate
them like,
us.
come on.
That's for sure. We got
Oh yeah,
killed.
yeah, bro.
You got
Yeah, y'all let
LSU, Texas, and Missouri every year.
yeah.
Alabama get Mississippi State,
You,
Vanderbilt, and Tennessee.
you miss me with the Missouri, but
But Texas, LSU every year. But it's cool.
oh,
That's
I mean we
rivals.
play.
Let's roll.
Yeah. You got to play at least two good games every year. You know,
Oh
it's
yeah.
just we're gonna see what the luck of the draw is with everybody else year by year basis.
And it's so, portal, NIL stuff, it changed. I mean, Vandy's been good for what, 2 years?
Yeah.
So, when that quarterback leave, are they going to be good or are they going to be Vandy again? So,
Right.
Oh, they're gonna do Vandy again, right?
that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, well, we'll find out for sure. We'll find out. Um, Anything else y'all want to talk about before we get into some of the questions we got in the chat?
No,
Well,
I'm
let's
good.
roll. Let's roll.
Let's jump right on up in it then. Mike Gundy was fired today. Why couldn't he win during the NIL era? Will he land another coaching job? What's your thoughts on Mike Gundy getting fired?
I mean, I saw it coming after, the way they started the season, but Oklahoma State's been underachieving for the past couple of years. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, it can't have anything to do with money because Oklahoma State has got money, that oil money, T. Boone Pickens and all that stuff. They got money. I think he's more in the Dabo mode. He doesn't like the portal as much.
Yeah. What you think?
I,
What you think, FanDuel?
I mean, he's 2 years away from winning 10 games. I mean, I don't really. I get that they started off on the wrong foot. I don't think he's had a bad time since NIL started though. I mean, they won 12 games in 2021, I believe. So like, I get they fresh off a 3-9 last year, and it was ugly to start this year. He's been there like 20 plus years though, so I don't understand why. Uh, all these Big 12 teams to me are on the same level of playing field outside of Texas Tech to me. I think Texas Tech is the one team is in the tier by themselves. But outside of that, what else was he supposed to do? He got a decent record in bowl games. I mean, are they mad because he hasn't been to the playoff? That's the only thing I could think. This is not a blue blood program that we're talking about, though. This is not somebody that is known to just be great every year, or we expect to be great every year. So, I mean, they firing him. I want to see who they gonna hire, and then I'm gonna be able to make my decision after that. But this is a dude that I feel like keeping the program up. So the grass ain't always green on the other side to me. You firing him, this is a critical moment. You can very much become a super bottom dweller. I didn't think they was a bottom dweller. You can become a bottom dweller now. So we're gonna see what happens. I think it was the wrong decision personally.
I think the fact that he didn't grab the whole NIL transfer portal business the way a lot of other coaches understood. This is the landscape of college football. I need to get on board. Otherwise, I'm a drown. And guess what? He's drowning right now because they fired him. They had to fire him. The writing was on the wall, and everything you said is true, FanDuel. He did make it to the Big 12 championship game 2 years ago when they faced Texas, and they had a decent team that year. But the fact that he wasn't able to hold on to players, another big thing was he lost Jim Knowles, which was the defensive guru for him that kept his defense really, really good. Losing him really hurt a lot because that defense hasn't been the same since. I think those three things hurt him. NIL, not really hitting the portal like he needed to, along with losing Knowles. They had to fire him. Who they gonna hire? Who knows? Who knows? But with his mindset, they had to let him go. They had to let him go. Will he land somewhere else? There's going to be quite a few coaching jobs out there available. And I think if he changes his mindset, he can find himself landing at probably a better place to get recruits than at Oklahoma State.
Just to throw a program out there, I think this might be Whittingham's last year. I think he ended up Utah easily. I think that'd be a perfect fit for him.
Wondering if UCLA don't make a run.
He in the same predicament over there.
That's true. That is true. I have heard. I've heard one name floated already as his possible replacement, and I don't like it.
Who?
It's the offensive coordinator at Texas A&M, Colin Klein.
Oh, you just being selfish. That's the only reason why you don't like it.
No, you're exactly why I don't like it. Last year, I'd have told you take Colin Klein. This year, no. I need Colin to stay. But that's the main reason I don't like it. I don't know that Colin Klein, I don't know. That's going to be it. You want to be a head coach. So, but as a head coach at Oklahoma State, more prestigious than an OC at Texas A&M, I don't know. I really don't know the answer.
Yeah, Colin Klein is destined for a head coaching job. Mm-hmm. So if it's not now, then it's going to be soon. That's for sure. That's for sure. Post game, what's your thoughts on Mike Gundy getting fired? Why couldn't he win in the NIL era? And will he land another job? And of course, welcome to the show. How you feeling this evening?
I feel great. It's good to see y'all, man. What's up?
What up?
Man. From what I'm hearing, fellas, Mike Gundy was dragging his feet on the transfer portal, and he wasn't. I think he was reluctant to dive into the NIL era. It's a changing of the times, man. From what I heard, they played with $7 million in like a span of 3 years. That's not gonna get it done. Excuse me, in the NIL era.
Was that by choice?
I don't know. This is just what I've heard. They through 3 years they dispersed probably $7 million. What I did hear is that he wasn't tapping into the transfer portal like a lot of other teams, and the combination of those things was probably his, undoing. So it's a sad situation because I've always had a lot of respect for Mike Gundy, man, and I definitely think he may want to take a year off. He may want to go be an offensive or defensive consultant, and before he gets back in the game. But I think he'll have another job soon.
Yeah, I think he will as well. Let's look at the next question. This is related to coaching as well. With the possibility of other coaches being fired, should the schools wait or get it over with and go ahead and fire those guys right now, and why?
Yeah, I'm always a firm believer. Just do it right now because when you wait, now you're hurting your high school football recruiting. You know, at least you can get a guy in. You can try to retain those guys that you already have. Um, maybe you can, maybe you can't. Um, but if you do it right now, you still be able to let the next coach be able to construct a roster going into next year without giving them a super time frame onto like you got to get it done in a month or 2 months. Now you got if you do it now, you got down there 6 to 8 months, and you can retain the players on your own roster as well. So you can weed out who you don't want and who you do want. So I think that you got to do it as soon as you know. The earlier the better. I don't think you want to do it in the off season though.
I think you got to. I'm with you right now. Whoever, but you got to have whoever you think. You got to have somebody that could be retained to help keep the relationships that you built with the high school kids. You built with the team that's there. 30-day open. They got a 30-day window to enter the portal. Any player on the roster. So if you fire them now, yeah, the kids can leave in 30 days, but you better have a plan for how you want to try to retain and get somebody on board pretty quick, whether it be interim and offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, somebody to try to keep some roster stability.
Yeah, I wonder in this day and age of NIL and transfer portal, I wonder if schools are consulting the student athletes on whether they fire or hire coaches. Have you ever thought about that?
What you mean? Explain.
I wonder if schools like let's take Napier for example at Florida, right? Uh, I wonder if they haven't pulled the trigger on his coaching job based on what the student athletes on that team are telling the administrations. You see what I'm saying? Because I understand schools want to move on and they dislike what's going on with their programs, but I just wonder if the student athletes in this day and age of NIL and transfer are are having an input on whether their coach is fired or not. So that's something interesting. I would think not, because if we got to move on from a coach, we just do. Whether y'all stay or not, that's up to y'all. We gonna fill the vacancies. But I thought that was interesting to think about, fellas. In this new day and age of NIL and transfer, are student athletes influencing whether their coach is terminated or not?
I don't. I mean, these kids can't. They barely can figure out. In my thought process, the majority of them. I'm not gonna say all of them. The majority of them don't even know what they want to do in life at this time for real. If they got to hit the workforce tomorrow, so I doubt that. I highly doubt it.
I hope they don't. The players got a lot of power nowadays compared to previous years. You'd hope they don't have the power to just come into the administration and be like, fire him or we leave. Yeah, that's not going to end well for anybody.
hmm and I'm not saying this is the case. It's just something to think about. Like Sean said, players are empowered nowadays. It's a whole different ball game. You never know what's going on at these schools, but it's just something to think about. I don't necessarily think that's the case.
Yeah, I really do believe that if you got a coach that you already are thinking about firing that individual, I think you should go ahead and get it over with so that coaches out there already know that your job is open. They can start thinking about where they want to go. You can start thinking about some candidates that you want to start reaching out to, the whole 9 yards. Because I think if you wait too late, you'll mess around and possibly miss out on getting a head start on some coaches that are out there that you might be interested in. Because if the dominoes keep falling the way they're falling now, a guy might get locked into a job that you might be interested in, and I think you should go ahead and make yourself available. It's like if you're a bachelor and you ready to settle down, you better put yourself out there so that people know you ready to settle down. And if you are a university and you looking for another coach, you need to put yourself out there so guys know that you are looking for somebody, as opposed to holding on to a guy that you know that you probably got to part ways with because he's either lost the locker room, he lost the players, or your star players aren't giving him maximum effort. So they need to think about parting ways with those guys. And we're going to really see some serious dominoes fall here in the near future, I believe. We got UCLA, Virginia Tech, and Oklahoma State having coaching vacancies. Which job is better?
I mean, if you get a coach that's going to use the transfer portal, I'd have to go UCLA. Just you're in California. You've got so much more talent. But I say got more talent to pull from, but Oklahoma State pulls a ton of kids out of Texas. So I really don't know which one's better. I mean, they're all kind of middle of the tier programs right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Zay.
Go ahead. You good?
No. I don't know. I would probably lean towards UCLA just because what Kendrick Lamar said in this song, they come out to Cali for three things: women, the W word, and weather. So I think that'd be attractive to recruits. I don't mind the Vatech job either, though, man. Depending on what they doing financially, but if I'm a young coach and I'm interviewing for those three jobs, I probably would want the UCLA job.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with post game. I think it's easily the UCLA job, and I think it comes down to a simple reason: they're in the Big Ten. They're going to get $60 to $70 million from the Big Ten in revenue every year, regardless. So who cares what their NIL look like? If they really want some money and they want to really put some money into their football program, they got the tools there to do it. It just probably take the right person to bring it out of them, to like a Prime or something. Like not Prime, but like how Prime did at Colorado. To infuse some willingness to put more resources into the program. You know what I'm saying? So, and like post game said as well, I wouldn't mind the Vatech job either. The Oklahoma State though, I would stay far away from that job, and just for the simple fact that I don't really know if I'm going to see the Big 12. And then after you see, if you do see the Big 12 get shredded into pieces, where are they going to end up? Because I don't think the Big Ten or the SEC want them. So, I mean, I don't really see no real option for them to land to where I'll be like, this is a big time program. They're on the fence line for real of not being a Power 4 type of school. So, Virginia Tech though and UCLA, them are the better two options. And if I had to choose out of the three, it'd definitely be UCLA.
But see, now that brings up a good point, though, is UCLA's in the Big Ten. If you're an up-and-coming coach, what's an easier path to the playoff right now? The Big 12?
The ACC?
But, okay, so Virginia Tech or Oklahoma State would be your option. UCLA ain't going to sniff the playoff in the Big Ten. Let's just be real.
I mean, I can't say that. Not right now. It's going to take somebody to build the program, though.
Right. So, but if the Big 12 and the ACC stay together, one of those two conferences is going to be easier to win than the Big Ten, even if you build the program.
Yeah, but you say that though, right, Sean? But
Right.
what did Curcinetti do in his first year from a program that has
Right.
never did nothing?
I get it. And it can take one coach and it can be that fast. You're right. But I know
Yeah,
Indiana's been in the Big Ten, and there's a difference being in the Big Ten for years, even being mediocre and coming in new. It's a different style of football than the West Coast plays. It's a lot more smash mouth football in the Big Ten. So Indiana had a roster kind of built for it, but he did take the coach to push everything over the top. I see angles both ways for it. You
It's
know?
definitely both angles because
Yeah.
Oregon. Would you say Oregon had the roster built for it?
No,
They was West Coast.
Oregon's a different animal, though. Oregon is just a way different animal.
I get that, but what I'm saying to you is,
I get it.
Cincinnati did it
Mhm.
at Indiana, and you could say that the roster was built for the Big Ten, but this
Right.
is a program that has never won
Right.
nothing.
Right.
And then Oregon came in and won the Big Ten in the first year. So you got both sides of the spectrum.
Right.
You got a non-football program, and then
Right.
you got a West Coast team.
That's what's
I
so
think-
crazy about it. It's just one thing. I mean,
well,
look at Texas A&M, had the best recruiting class with Jimbo, did nothing. Did absolutely nothing.
That was definitely a failed experiment right there.
Boy, it's $75 million worth. Yeah. We still paying
bro,
that.
that Texas that recruit. I know a recruiting class you talking about. They have 5 stars among 5 stars. I'm talking about it. I haven't seen that up to that point.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can go any direction with any of these teams because none of them is really. They all got they something that you could that they if you can go there you can benefit from, like UCLA being in the Big Ten and they're gonna make more money there. Uh, Virginia Tech being able to make it to a probably a conference championship and to a CFP. Oklahoma State, same scenario. If I had to choose one of the two, I would probably pick Oklahoma State in terms of the players they can get because they're close to the South, they're close to Texas. They can get a lot more talent in those areas, more so than UCLA is, or more so than Virginia Tech. But I mean, all of them are to me are at this point are some whack ass jobs. So, you know, it's gonna take an up and coming guy who wants to take on that task, man. And I hear what y'all saying about UCLA being in the Big Ten. Yeah, they can get that money, but they ain't never gonna sniff the Big Ten championship game or the CFP with the teams that they got to battle to get there. And I hear y'all saying that about Indiana, but Indiana really only had one hard game last year, and that was against Ohio State. Those other teams in the Big Ten that they played, they weren't very good. They were having down years. Now, if they would have had to play Penn State or Oregon, that would have been another loss on their schedule. And they didn't have to play either one of them.
Another thing we gotta remember about IU fellas is that Cignetti brought his team with him.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys transferred to Indiana, so it made the transition to a winning program easier. Couple that with what you just said about the schedule.
Yeah. Will he be able to maintain that? Because he's an excellent coach, man. I believe in him. Will he be able to go and still find that talent at the group of 6 level and still be able to keep Indiana relevant? Because we got to expect USC to get better than what they've been. We got to expect Oregon to still be there. We got to expect Michigan to be better than what they were last year. Ohio State's always going to be good. So Penn State is always going to be good, but just have a hard time getting over the Michigans and the Ohio States of the world. So you're talking about 5 or 6 teams right there that Indiana at some point is going to have to cross paths with. And are they good enough to beat any of those 5 or 6 teams that I just named year in and year out? I don't think so.
Well, this is the thing about the Big Ten. Outside of Ohio State and really Michigan, it shuffles. It's never the same teams year in and year out. You're gonna see Michigan State go on a run for 5 out of 10 years in a decade where they're good. They got a very good team. You're gonna see Illinois. You're gonna see different programs. Like within a decade, it's gonna be a rotation. It's never gonna be set unless it's Ohio State and really Michigan and Oregon now, as they got all the resources in the world. So Oregon will be the other team. Now, I think you'll start seeing a little even Penn State over the next decade or so. They're going to start dying down. You lose your coach maybe, and then you lose your coordinator maybe. And then, you know what I mean? Some of these teams is taking your recruits because you done lost to them a few times in a row. I think you'll start seeing them shuffle into the mix of these other programs. Just like when Nebraska came over to the Big Ten, it slowed down for you a little bit when it's sharks in the water. You know one thing about a shark, what a shark does for the ocean too. While I'm on this topic, it balances the ecosystem. You know, if you took all the sharks out of the ocean, what would happen? The seals would eat all the fish. We wouldn't have no fish to hunt. The whales, they eat all the fish. You wouldn't have no fish to hunt. So it's an ecosystem thing, you know. You got a few sharks, and then the rest is like little guppies, you know, and it's survival after that. So we ain't talking about Indiana being able to beat them on a regular basis. No, you got to step in when your time comes.
And you said all that just so you could say Ohio State is a shark.
Oh my God! Come on, man! Oh my God! That's not what was going on, man.
I thought I missed Shark. I thought Shark Week already happened on Nat Geo. Come on, man.
I'm just letting y'all know about the ecosystem, man.
It's all good. Checks and balances. Checks and balances.
Which coach has more pressure to win, Napier versus Texas or DeBoer versus Georgia?
It's Kalen DeBoer, and it's not even close. Billy Napier's done. It don't matter. I mean, he can beat Texas. Maybe that gets him, but I don't see it. I mean, Lagway's in a walking boot. You know, Texas is getting so lucky too. They're not going to get Lagway. They're not going to have to face Mateer. Come on, man. But I think it's DeBoer. If he loses to Georgia and the two only good teams you've played beat you, that Alabama fan base is not going to stand for that. Paul Feinbaum show going to be crazy.
Wow, facts.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Sean. Not because I think Napier is cooked, but more so that fan base in Alabama. Where's the game at?
Georgia.
It's in Athens, I believe.
Yeah.
It's in Athens, yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's the same old song with DeBoer. We don't trust him on the road. If you're gonna be in the SEC, you gotta win on the road. You just have to. And if you cannot complete that, you're gonna be 4 or 5 in the conference every year in and year out, because it's some atmospheres in the SEC. Now I can get that to them. It is some real atmospheres, and it be sometimes it look like he don't got his guys up for the challenge, and that's the biggest concern of it. So, I mean, even if they lose the game, they can't lose how they lost to Florida State, in my opinion. It just looked like they ain't had no juice. You know what I mean? I got to see my guys have juice. You got to go out swinging. You know, you can't just go out anyway. You got to go down fighting. And that's all I want. That's all I want. And we only in year 2, so can I really be upset if they lose a game to Georgia, who we already understand runs the conference? But if they just go out there and get dog walked, then it is what it is. It's like, bro, you're not up for the challenge, because we seen them have no juice against Florida State. They had none.
Yeah, I'm agree with you guys. I think it's DeBoer, simply because of expectations. I don't think that fan base in Florida, nobody's really talking this week saying we're going to beat Texas. Uh, you know, I believe that Bama fan base is expecting a victory against Georgia, even after the loss to Florida State. Okay, you lost that one. Don't lose this one. You know what I mean? So simply by expectations, I think it's DeBoer.
Yeah, it has to be the board because you don't have any more um, area for another loss. You can't afford another loss. He doesn't have any more um, mistakes that he can make. He can't lose another game. Otherwise, your chances of making it to the 12 team playoffs is really, really slim at that point. Uh, because you got two losses already now. Of course, you can still make it to the SEC championship if things fall in your favor, but that don't mean you're going to win it. You can still lose another game. They still got to play their Auburn. So I think it's the board as well. Thing is, though, that Alabama has been able to beat Georgia consistently for the past long time. Long time. Now, I know Saban ain't there, but he got him last year. Maybe he can get him again this year. But it's definitely the board. And I agree with Sean. Napier, he's out of there, man. So the writing is already on the wall for him. So it don't matter whether he wins or loses.
Quick question, fellas, before we move on. Do y'all think Bama be, or let me say it like this: do y'all think Florida State beats Bama this week if they played this week?
No.
No, and I know we talking about Ty Simpson and how much better he looked since week one. I just know the game is on the road, and I know DeBoer struggles on the road. It's a coaching thing for me. It's not a personnel.
Yeah.
That's interesting,
If
fellas.
if
What do you
you
say,
can't,
Rob?
my thing is if you can't get your kids up game one to play Florida State at Florida State, if Alabama comes out flat against Georgia, he's in big trouble. Coming out flat in the two biggest games you've had so far, I don't know that he'll survive. I mean, he probably will survive the year, but he better not lose another one.
There's definitely coaches out there that are waiting in the wing to get that job. So he better do something. Um, do I think Alabama would beat Florida State if they played them right now? Hmm. If Florida State don't talk no trash beforehand, maybe Alabama can go in there and compete with them. But if they talk some trash, then they give all this bulletin board material to Florida State, then maybe not. Florida State's playing really, really good football. They got a chip on their shoulder. At this point, maybe Florida State is already confident like they are now. They would have had some other opponents, they would probably still be as confident. I still think Florida State will probably beat them, especially when you keep Ryan Williams in the slot when he needs to be on the outside. He needs to be on the outside for sure. Can Notre Dame's defense be fixed?
Oh Lord, Lord.
Maybe. I'm not real sure. I don't think this year. I think you have to give Chris Ash, if you're going to give him time, you have to give him another year. But I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look good, that's for sure. 30 points to Purdue is not Notre Dame standard at all.
Yeah.
Hell, 41 to A&M ain't Notre Dame standard. I'm glad they did do 41, but that's a different subject.
Hey, post game. I'm sorry. I threw this question out there because I really wanted to hear what you had to say about it because I'm still in belief that y'all can make a playoff run. Well, not a playoff run, but make a way to get into the playoff. So I want to know really, um, is there anything you see that can tweak and hide the deficiencies on your defense? Because at the end of the day, if y'all can still get into the playoffs and y'all can hide some of y'all's deficiencies, then maybe y'all can win a couple games in that joint and see what happened. Because last year I don't think nobody expected y'all to make it to the national championship game. I didn't. I thought y'all would lose probably the game to Georgia, honestly. So,
Bro, you should have seen how many people laughed at me when I said Notre Dame can make it to the championship. But that's another story. Uh, can Notre Dame fix its defense? I'm going to say yes because I'm betting on the talent to kind of rise to the top and outweigh whatever. See, the thing is, y'all, and one of the things I didn't pay enough attention to when I broke this team down uh, in the spring or summer is that Notre Dame had a lot of transition in the offense. New defensive coordinator, key defensive players leaving that were leaders, captains, experienced guys. I'm just betting on Marcus Freeman, the experience of Chris Ash, and the talent they have on that defensive side of the ball. They've been solid actually against the run. I believe they're aligned less than 4 yards per carry. The the problem has been the pass defense, and hopefully we can get Leonard Moore healthy for this week. We can get the Alabama transfer Devontae Smith uh, healthy for this week. I like that they put Bronte Johnson in at free safety. It gives you a cover guy at safety, as opposed to two thumping safeties in the box safeties. So again, fellas, I don't know if they do it this week. They better because they definitely need a victory against Arkansas. These next few games on Notre Dame's schedule are going to be critical. You talking about Arkansas, Boise State, USC is in there. If we even want to think about the playoffs, we got to win. We got to win out. But these next 4 games are going to be critical. So all in all, fellas, I'm going to bet on the talent that they have on that side of the ball, the experience of Marcus Freeman and Chris Ash to figure things out. They got the pieces. They just have to put it all together.
Yeah, I think it can be fixed too. I think they got too much talent for it not to be able to get fixed. So I think they can fix it. No, this is supposed to say, do y'all think a 74-player travel roster is enough for road games? If not, how many should dress for road games?
Go ahead, Sean.
I think 74 is good. I don't really know that it. I mean, you need more than that. I don't know. I mean, that's just kind of one of those. To me, 74, that gives you roughly 3 deep everywhere. Plus, your specialists. I mean, to me, 74 is plenty. I mean, I don't see you need. I don't think you need to go lower than 74. If you wanted to bump it to 80, maybe, but I wouldn't go lower than 74 because, I mean, we've seen injuries. I mean, A&M Notre Dame game when our safety hit the tight end and was down, you got to replace him. Well, what happens if the next safety comes in and blows his knee out? Now you don't have a replacement for him if you go below that number. So I think 74 is a good number, but I could see it go to 80 and I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement. 74 through 80, I believe, is the sweet spot. You never know. It's football. You never know what could happen. It could be a freakish game, and you lose your top 3 quarterbacks. Then what? You know what I mean? It could happen. It's football. So I believe 74 through 80, that's the sweet spot, and I'm cool with it.
I'm not sure if FanDuel was still there or not. See, you got two things on the screen. Let me see. Oh no, I don't want to remove that. You might be backstage messing with some stuff. But we'll see what's going on with him. I think that that's a good number. I do. I think it's a good number. 74 to 80 is a good number. But man, I really would love to see the whole team be able to go in some of these road environments and get to experience them because they may not get the experience, especially like non-conference games. Like, say, for instance, Texas played Ohio State this year. I want all my players to be able to go and see it and feel that environment, man. But that's the only reason. I think 74 is enough. You got three deep. You got an extra quarterback, another running back, maybe a couple of receivers to get to 74. If you got three deep, that's 66. So, and then you got your kicker, your punter, those guys, long snapper.
Well, you got to be sure you have somebody who can really catch an extra point.
Yeah.
I had to throw the dig in. I had to. You got to be able to catch the extra points.
Yeah, I think only people that shouldn't travel really is probably red shirts. I want all my guys to experience the environments. It's some great environments in college football. That's the main thing, and they done took the walk-on numbers down. So it's not like you traveling with guys that is not going to see the field. All these dudes are really scholarship players out of the 105. What is it? What's the number now? It's 100 scholar.
Five.
I think it's
all of them are scholarships, right?
I think it's 105 scholarship. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not traveling with walk-ons no more. So I don't understand why we would just travel with 74. These are all guys you offer football scholarships to play on your football team. They all should be there. They're all a part of the team.
Yeah, I know that's quite a bit more money, but still, I want to see them get the experience, that environment for sure. Well, let's go into the last part of our segment where we're going to get to see our man Sean B's SEC Power Ranking. So let's go ahead and get into that right now. I think my man FanDuel got it set there for us. Hopefully y'all can see it on the screen. So Sean, go ahead and give us a breakdown of where you got let's go from the bottom to the top.
Okay. The bottom self-explanatory. Kentucky. Kentucky can't get out of their own way.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that Kentucky would win a scrimmage against Kentucky. Florida.
My God.
I don't know what to do with Florida. Super talented.
Hey, hold on, man. We can't go past that one like that, dog.
Yeah, we got to. Now, so you got what? I mean, it's Kentucky. Come on.
Oh my God.
They're and I hate it because the quarterback that was starting was a former A&M kid, Calzada.
Yeah.
The one who beat Alabama.
Yeah.
And they're terrible. I mean, remember your athletic director, Ross Bjork, wanted to hire Mark Stoops to come to A&M when they fired Jimbo, and the A&M regents threw a fit and the message boards blew up and they said, never mind, we're not hiring him.
Yeah, I heard he was on the plane, on the tarmac or something, on his way.
He was on the tarmac on his way, and the Tex Ags with Billy Lucci and all them got involved, and the president Welsh said, never mind, we're not doing this. And that's just, the fan base is insane, but they did not want that man there. You can't, obviously you can win at Kentucky, and they've had some decent seasons under him. He's not A&M caliber. It's just not. Moving up to Florida, though. Florida's just, I don't know. The only reason Florida's not last is because Kentucky's in the SEC. That's really the only reason. They are terrible. Injuries, discipline, you name it. They just look lost. They got one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football, and he's just wasting away down there. Which I have a feeling that's not going to be much longer. He'll be transferring out. He's already said he wants to redshirt the rest of the year.
He did?
Yeah. Said he wants to redshirt.
Oh.
Now, whether he does or not, but it's been thrown out there that he's looking at the possibility to A, heal his calf muscle up, B, if he does stay at Florida, rehab his shoulder still, go through spring ball, and come back next year. Because Florida's young. Florida's still got some young cats out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
let me ask you this real quick. Let me ask you this real quick. Do you have any kind of intel or indications of any teams he would be interested in if he transferred?
I don't. I'll dig into some. I do know, not that it would happen, but I do know that when he went to Florida, A&M was his second choice.
Mm-hmm.
He's from Willis, Texas. He's an hour and a half out of College Station. So it's got the home ties there. But you got Marcel Reed, you got Miles O'Neill, you got Brady Hart, you got all these others already there. Does he go there? Does he go to, lack of a better word, does he go to a Kentucky and try to make it there? You know, I mean, I don't know, but I'm going to do some digging to some of my friends down in the Willis, Texas area where he's from and see if I can get some intel on it and see if he is really considering redshirting.
Yeah. I think he wants to play in the SEC. But I'm telling you right now, I could see Texas Tech really trying to throw some money at him to get him to come back home to Texas for sure.
Don't think University of Houston won't throw money at him too.
Yeah, them too. SMU too.
Yep. Arkansas, if you can eliminate 5 to 10 minutes off of every football game, Arkansas would probably be in the top 5 on this list. But they can't finish games. Y'all got them this week. Just keep the lead with about 5 minutes left, and they're going to fumble. Every week. I think that's another coach that's going to be hunting for a job is Sam Pittman.
Yep.
South Carolina is just 13 because I don't know what to do with them. They had flashes against Missouri. They just, but again, -9 rushing yards. Just I can't get over that. And so I dropped them there. Auburn probably should be higher up.
Can we just stop at the bottom 4? I just see some discrepancies.
That's fine.
And I just want to speak on my behalf of my discrepancies of your list. With all due respect.
You're fine.
Florida got one of the best defenses in the SEC. I wouldn't put them at 15. Now they ain't got a lick of offense.
Right.
And it looked like Oklahoma from last year. They don't have a lick of offense right now. And you said DJ Lagway, one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and he can't read coverages. So I can't agree with that either. So
no,
that's why
talented. He was.
They're at 15. They're at 15 because one, he ain't had no summer, and he really couldn't get with his guys and build that rapport. And I don't think it's as bad as we've seen. He do got to work on some stuff, but that defense is nice. You get what I'm saying? Hey, their game's only been close because of that defense, and that defense be on the field all game. They be on the field all game. So I don't think they deserve 15. And
fair.
Arkansas, they're bottom dweller. They should be down there. South Carolina, I think they'd be higher. And I'm gonna let you go to the next 4, so I'll tell you where both of them teams would slide up for me and who would slide down.
I've got Auburn there just based on their lack of offense too. Their Auburn defense isn't actually that bad, but their offense is not that good. So I just slotted them in there. Mississippi State, I gave them there just to give them a little bump because they're going to fall back down this list pretty quick.
Power ranking. True, power ranking.
For right now, that's what we're looking at. They're undefeated. They beat a playoff team from last year in Arizona State. Give them some, give Jeff Levy a little bit of love for a little bit before it all crashes down on him, because it's going to. Vandy, I like Vandy. I'm just not sold on Vandy. I need to see Vandy do something. Yeah, beating Alabama, all that. I need to see you do it again. Go through a gauntlet again, and let me see what you can do. I don't trust them. Could be way wrong. We'll find out. That's the fun thing is you can put the power rankings out, but they got to play the games eventually.
Facts.
Then you jump into Bama. I've got Bama there. I think Bama's coming on. I really got them there because I don't like the way they looked against Florida State. They've beaten the brakes off of everybody else they should have beaten the brakes off of. And this whole ranking, we'll find out Bama this week. Bama will either fly up this list or they'll fall down this list based on how they look against Georgia. And then Texas, I've got Texas 8. Again, that's another school that defense, one of the best. Offense, and don't give me 55-0. That was Sam Houston State. Come on. Okay. Arch flexing on a Sam Houston State kid. Come on, man. What are we doing? But
chill.
I don't. That just drives me insane.
Hey, you can tell y'all. Hey, listen, y'all are y'all like the same fans, like just opposite. You get what I'm saying? Like y'all both is like the same. Go ahead, my bad, man. That's funny.
That's why Texas is there, because I don't like their offense. I'm not sold on their offense yet. I think the bye week came really good for Texas to maybe try to refocus in before hitting the SEC gauntlet. Because I think Texas, if I'm not mistaken, they don't have another non-conference game. Everything from them is conference here on out.
Yeah.
Whereas everybody else still has that. I don't know. I think we have like Wofford or Mercer or something coming up at the end.
That's what y'all do in the SEC. It's like week 10, ain't it?
Right. Yeah. It's like
right
before rivalry week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go ahead and make yourself feel better about whatever. Doesn't work for us when we play Appalachian State, but whatever. So that's the next 8. What you got?
So like you were saying, what was it was Auburn, Mississippi State. I would have Mississippi State at the complete bottom. I think once these games, the SEC start, they're going to be at the complete bottom. But then I remember after you said power ranking, play the game on the field. This is definitely a power ranking. So really, I need to reposition myself, in my opinion, because this is actually a good power ranking. You know what I mean? Because power rankings is week to week. So it's a pretty decent list. But me just knowing what Mississippi State is,
right?
They escaped with a 4-point win against the Arizona State team that I think is completely terrible this year. And we seeing Cam Scatterblow go crazy in the NFL, and we know exactly he was just like Ashton Jeanty. He was carrying the team.
That's exactly it. But that's why I started doing this actually a couple years ago, where I did it every Tuesday with a bunch of buddies of mine. And then when I got linked up with y'all, I was like, well, I'll just keep doing it. And it does. Mississippi State will be at the bottom of this. Well, they'll never be below Kentucky. Nobody will be below Kentucky, ever. Except maybe Kentucky's JV, and they might be ahead of them.
Bro is not letting up on Kentucky.
I hate Kentucky. I despise Kentucky, and I don't know why.
It's like that neighbor that you got.
Right.
That like got all the stuff in their yard and never cut their grass. It bring the property value down.
Right. That's who they are. That's why I can't believe more Ohio people don't get mad at them. They y'all's neighbor.
Hey, listen, let them keep being horrible, because I'm trying to get me some tickets to that game. I might get them for $50.
You have to. Mississippi, number 7, could have been higher on this list. Not still real sure about the quarterback situation, how that's going to completely play out. As of right now, I've got him sitting there. Probably could have been higher. To be honest, they probably could have been ahead of Tennessee. I don't know what to make of Mississippi and how. Whenever you have a 2 quarterback system, what's the old average? If you got 2 quarterbacks, you got none.
None, yeah.
They seem to have 2 because both of them look pretty good. This kid from Ferris State is crazy. But they haven't played the best competition yet either. We're going to find out more about them this week when LSU comes knocking. Tennessee next. I think Tennessee's really good. I like Tennessee completely. Yes, they gave up 40 some odd points to Georgia. They also were without their 2 starting cornerbacks. And then those 2 starting cornerbacks are really good cornerbacks too. So you got to watch Tennessee. To me, the offense seems to be clicking. I mean, that's Tennessee. Just chunk it deep and hope. And it's working right now. So we'll see what happens going forward and see how healthy they can get. Missouri, 5. I like Missouri's run game. I don't think anybody can argue that. Best run game probably in the nation. Defense is okay, pretty good. Make some plays. Not 100% sold on the pass attack. But we'll see if that progresses anymore. But they get you because they force you. Very similar to an A&M. They force you to put 8 in the box and then take shots. And if your corner, if my receiver's better than your corner, we win. If your corner's better, you win. But they make you load the box and play straight, almost man on the outside. A&M at 4. Could have put them lower. Could have put them, just one of those. It's A&M. It's my team. I love our offense. I think our offense, this might piss some people off, but I think we've got the 2 best wide receivers in the SEC on the outside. That's a duo. Those 2 guys are legit. They're crazy. Got some questions about our defense. But I think Mike Elko can fix that. He's a DC. He's been known to have good defenses. He's had some good defenses at Notre Dame, had some at A&M. I think he'll get it fixed. There's too much talent on that team not to be able to stop the dang run. Oklahoma 3. Oklahoma's Oklahoma. Another good, solid defense. There's a lot of good defenses in the SEC this year. Offense, right now that's where Oklahoma is. Who's their backup quarterback? He wants to play for a month.
The kid Hawkins, he played a little bit last year.
Yeah, Michael Hawkins, I think.
Yeah, Michael, yeah.
But, I mean, he couldn't throw. He could run. But he was like Marcel Reed last year. He couldn't throw. So, let's see. I mean, we'll see what happens. I think they're on a bye week this week, so that'll help them at least break him in a little bit. LSU's there. LSU in Georgia, I went back and forth on, but I put LSU there because their offense just against decent competition has not been there. The defense, they're back. That's a hell of a defense there. But I'm not sold on their offense against good competition yet, so I put them in behind Georgia. Georgia's number 1. Georgia hasn't looked all that great yet this year either. But, to be the man, you got to beat the man. They're the defending SEC champions, haven't lost a game, got the longest home winning streak in the nation. We'll find out more. Bama comes to town this week. We'll see what happens.
Hey, Sean.
That's where we are this week, and we'll see what happens moving forward.
Sean, quick question, man.
Yeah.
Are these pre or post John Mateer news?
This is pre. I was locked in at work today doing some stuff, made these up, sent them over to Robert, and then got in the car and realized there was an alert that Mateer's hand was broken. Had I known ahead of time, Oklahoma would have been down the list. But
okay, got that. That's what I was going to ask. If you knew what was happening with Mateer as you were writing this, did you keep it? Okay, got it.
No, it would have definitely changed it some.
I probably would have had Oklahoma lower from the jump anyway with Mateer. Uh, I would have went Georgia, LSU, Tennessee. Tennessee would be 3 for me. You lost to Georgia by a field goal. You probably could have won the game if you didn't miss a field goal. Or they would have won the game if they didn't miss that field
Right.
goal in the fourth quarter. And I probably would have went Missouri 4 and then Oklahoma, Texas
See,
A&M,
Three,
followed by
3 to 7 was my or 3 to 6 was my like struggle area there. Because to me, they've all got good, Tennessee's only really played one good team though, and they lost. Well, I guess 2 if you count Syracuse. I mean, A&M's really only played one good team. We beat them, but so 3 to 6 was my range of, and like I said, this is post or pre Mateer news. So Oklahoma, had I done this right now, Oklahoma's down probably near where Texas is, if not maybe even below Bama.
and just to create a little debate, I would say 3 to 9.
Yeah,
I would
you can go
say
there.
3 to 9. You can move and interchange a lot of those teams, but once you get to 10, that is clearly the bottom half.
Easy. The SEC is about 9 deep this year as far as solid teams, and you could almost make a case for any of them. You could put LSU in front of Georgia, and yeah, you can argue it, but to me, Georgia still the man. They're defending champs of the SEC. They ain't lost a game. Got to take it from them. And this week, they may fall down if Bama goes in there and beats them. Of course, if they beat Bama, it just solidifies their hold on number 1 for another week.
I like the list. That's a good power rankings list.
It is solid. It's very solid.
Yeah, I told him I liked it too. I thought it was spot on, in my opinion. I think it's spot on.
Yeah, it's so solid that I'm going to extend you an invitation to my show that I am dropping on Mondays. I'm pre-recording it Sunday though, so it's just going to air. But it's a college football playoff power ranking.
Okay.
That's how solid your list is. I know I couldn't extend this to T1 because he drafted Ibuka in our first annual WTP Sports Dudes draft at number 7. Which actually looks like it should have happened in the real world now, but
Right.
he's ahead of the curve with that. So it's no slight to him. But it sounded blasphemous to all of us at the beginning.
Right.
He's such a homer.
That's why, only because he's a homer.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
really do like the list, man. I think that what he put out there is really solid. I mean, you can't move Georgia off the number 1 slot until they lose.
That was my theory.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I
like-
could have put LSU there and made a case for it,
Yeah, you could have, definitely.
but LSU's offense just don't look right.
Do y'all think Nussmeier might be dealing with some injuries?
He's injured. He is.
Yeah, they said he got
His
a torso
ribs.
injury.
He's got.
Okay.
Ooh,
Okay.
I
that
don't
torso.
know if they're not broken, but I'm wondering if
Bruised.
they're not just bruised ribs, like deep bruised bone ribs. And
Mhm.
man, when you throw to that
You need that.
Puts that
you need
strain.
that area. Yeah.
it makes your body tense, and all of a sudden you're gripping the ball tighter, and it's bouncing shorter. I don't. He's not healthy, that's for sure. That they came out with that, but what is it? Nah, you'll never know.
I mean, they said he ain't gonna get right until they got a bye week. They
Right.
said he just need rest.
This is why the whole conversation last week was, why don't you bench him last week against Southeast Louisiana?
Facts.
I mean, I think that's the reason why I feel like it's okay if DJ Lagway decides, listen, man, I'm shutting it completely down, because if I don't shut it completely down, I don't know what my career is going to look like next year. We're not going to be – we got a really good defense. They do have a really good defense. They got a lot of guys banged up on their defense too who may not even play against Texas. And I think at this point, he should really shut it down and get healthy. He's been in a walking boot all fall camp. He was dealing with a shoulder in the spring.
Mhm.
So I think that he needs to go ahead and take care of himself, man, and get ready for next season, even if he has to part ways with Florida and go somewhere else. But I think at this point he needs to understand and listen. If I'm going to help my family, myself and my family, I got to go ahead and shut it down, and I'll
Yeah.
get back at Florida next year because it's not like they're going. The schedule they got, it ain't like they're gonna win a whole bunch of games, bro.
Hmm.
No, I mean, get yourself right. Get out.
Yeah,
If you were undefeated right now, play through it. Do what you can.
do it. Right.
The fact is, you're not. You're 1-3.
Yeah,
Your season's done. You're not going to the playoff.
right.
So these kids got to look at their, you got to look at your future at some point and be like, look, this season's kind of lost. I can redshirt and save a year. Let me go get right.
Rob,
But
let me.
if Napier's fired, does he leave? See, that's the whole mess of this is how many of those kids leave if Napier is fired in the middle of the season?
Yeah.
Rob, let me ask you a quick question on your Longhorns without
Yeah,
giving
yeah.
a full breakdown on the game or a prediction. Just y'all got Florida this week. What are you looking? What are you looking to see from the offense?
Well, we play them. We got to buy this week, and then we got them in
Next
2
week.
weeks.
Oh, y'all on bye. I
Yeah,
don't
we're
know
on a
why I
bye.
thought y'all played them this week. My bad.
Yeah.
Never mind.
The good thing about them having a bye is by then we'll have both of our running backs back. We'll be looking good in that area. We'll get one of the tight ends will get back. So we'll have some dudes that we need to get back. So we should be all right. Um, but what I'm looking forward offensively is with those two guys at the running back position, you're going to probably see our defense be a lot different. You're going to probably see Steve Sarkisian scheme up some things if he needs to, because I think if we can run the football, because they're going to have two defensive tackles out, their main dude and his backup. So they're not going to be able to be too deep at that position, which is going to help Texas in the run game. Uh, and I think with DJ Moore being back, if we can get Emmett Mosley out there, who hasn't been out there at all, he's been hurt all freaking season, even in fall camp. If we can get him back at the other wide receiver position, that should really help Arch Manning out a lot. Another guy that he can connect with, and with DeAndre Moore being back, we should be all right with the pass game. As long as we let Arch be Arch and not handcuffing, we should be solid. We should be solid.
Get some O-line work in. That O-line got some problems.
The O line has some issues.
Well, Stark is going to have a wide open playbook for that defense. He's going to have to.
Well, if they was at full strength, you're exactly right. They're gonna probably have a corner that's out, those two defensive guys on the line that's out. But if those guys were healthy, you're exactly right. They would have to Sarkisian offense would have to be wide open. But we know he can scheme some things open, man. We just got to make sure Arch can be Arch.
Yeah, that offensive line is something we talked about a lot preseason.
Yeah, they're work in progress, man. They really got to get that thing up to speed. I thought they were going to be better than what they are at this point. But after seeing what some of those lesser teams was able to do in terms of scheming their defensive linemen, slants, and all that stuff, they gave Texas real issues. So I'm quite sure better quality teams are going to be able to do the same thing and really have Texas on their heels. The good thing about that is the fact that Arch Manning has legs, so he can buy himself a little bit of time. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Arch can run, that's for sure. I mean, he can move, but I just don't know if that's the best game plan in the long run. It's Arch running around a lot.
I don't want him. I don't want them to get into this design run game. I understand that he can run, but I don't want them to do that. Otherwise, we'll be dealing with a situation like LSU was dealing with their man with a bruised ribs. Not that he's a runner, but the fact that you don't want your quarterback taking those hits because we don't have anything behind Arch Manning.
No,
so we can't afford for him to get hurt.
That's why I hold my breath every time Marcel breaks out of the pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a stable of running back. Give the dang ball to somebody, man. Come on. But I get when it breaks down, you got to scramble. I get it. But
yeah,
when it's designed run for Marcel Reed, no, just get down, man. Please get down, get out of bounds, do something. Because,
yeah.
For
sure.
Hate it. Y'all realize Mateer broke his hand in the first quarter of that game?
Man, ain't that crazy?
I thought it
just a
happened on the
baller.
I
Just a baller.
I thought it was the last touchdown, like when he dove in. It came at first quarter. Come on, man.
Baller, dog.
On your throwing hand.
Dog.
Dude.
That's a dude I want to draft.
Right.
You know what I mean? I said he looked like the number one pick. I'm telling you. He's a dog.
Like this derailed it, but he was the Heisman front runner.
Oh, yeah, he was for sure.
You know, like he reminds me, not an exact playing style, but he reminds me of Baker. You know, just super moxie, confident, got a little juice to him. You know what I mean? Just super creative on the field as he go. He way quicker, and I think he got a slightly better arm than Baker, but Baker can sling it too. But he low key remind me of Baker, bruh.
You think he got a better arm than Baker?
Yeah, slightly. His arm, like that Patty Mahomes like torque. That's the only thing that's separated. He got like that Patty Mahomes sidearm torque that he could throw it through windows. And they both little guys. He only 6'1", so they both kind of small. So
yeah, that dude's a. But
yeah, I tipped my hat off when I heard that. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, immediately when I saw, I was like, okay. But I mean, you put me right now. Hardy's the front runner for the Heisman, running back from Missouri. Right now, that's who I got. If you're going to say the Mateer was the leader, if he's out of that conversation, because you can't miss 4 games and win the Heisman, then Hardy, to me, is the next best player in college football right now.
Well, I mean, if you go running back, you got to say Justice Haynes, I feel like, because he's absolutely carrying the offense by himself. You know? I mean, Underwood had one good game to me, like really, where he showed. But Haynes is he going for $150 damn near every night, every time he step out there.
That's what Hardy's doing, 150 every night.
They're doing 150, yeah. Yep.
It's 3 of them, though. It's 3 of them.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
It's only one Justice Haynes.
That's right. Right. That's right. There is 3 of them, but yeah, I mean that's just where my money would sit right now. But again, that's so many things.
Hey, listen. OU got Kent State, Texas, South Carolina, Ole Miss. What do y'all think? Y'all think they gonna be able to survive that and still make the playoff while he's out?
Who do they got first? Kent State?
Yeah, Kent State. They got Kent State. They're on a bye week though, so really Kent State, Texas, South Carolina. They're expecting 4 weeks.
I think Texas beats them, especially now. I mean, I had that game being closer with Mateer playing. I think Texas got the upper hand now. That kills me to say that. I need to get some mouthwash or something. I think South Carolina game's the trap game to me. That could swing either way.
It's at South Carolina as well, too.
I'd say that doesn't mean much because, I mean, Vandy went in there and beat the brakes off of them. But backup quarterback, it depends if it's a night game or day game at Williams-Brice. That's a big difference. A night game over in South Carolina is a lot different than a day game in South Carolina. Of course, that's anywhere. But who they got after South Carolina?
Ole Miss.
I honestly see them, not counting the Kent State game. You talk about the 3 SEC schools they play after that. I see a 1-2 or 0-3. I see Ole Miss beating them, Texas beating them, and then South Carolina's a toss-up.
Oh, well, they ain't going to make it then because they got Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, LSU after that.
No.
They don't have any run game, man. Their run game is pitiful, bro.
But
They had a
that
run
was their
game
run
with Michael Hawkins. Then I would say, okay, they could probably win those games with that defense they got, but they have absolutely no run game whatsoever.
Did Hawkins play against Texas last year?
Hawkins, yeah. Hawkins
Texas
played
beat the
that was his
great.
first start. Yeah,
they beat the out of Oklahoma. Am I right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is damage control losing Mateer.
Yeah.
I really would like to see the backup. Maybe I haven't seen him. Maybe y'all have. Is that the Hawkins guy y'all talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. So, is he? Can he at least hold him 500? Maybe 3-1 during that stretch?
I don't think so.
It depends. It depends on the progression of him throwing the ball.
That's true. That's true. If he progresses, it's the prime example. Last year, him and Marcel Reed were about the same quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Texas A&M's quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Marcel Reed can throw the ball. Now, he didn't have the greatest percentage when we played against Notre Dame. What was he? 17 for 37, but for 360. So he finds open receivers. Does Hawkins have that kind of progression in him? Possibly. I mean, the kid's got talent there. He wouldn't be at OU. So how does he progress? You're exactly right, Zay. I mean, if he's the same quarterback from last year, 0-3. If he's progressed, you could get a split. You might even squeak one out with a late field goal, and we go 3-1 in that stretch. But to the dire of all Oklahoma fans, they're going to lose to Texas.
Now I can say this too though about Hawkins. He's a pure better runner than Mateer. So the run game might actually pick up a little bit because of him.
Yeah. Defense can't pin their ear back and just come at him.
So is there do y'all think there's any reason to believe that when Mateer comes back, he has a drop off or doesn't have a drop off in his production and play?
I don't think so. If you played in the first quarter with a broken hand on your throwing hand, a broken bone in your throwing hand, and you play the whole rest of the game, he got that dog in him, and there ain't gonna be no drop off. I don't think.
I see drop off post game because so much about quarterback play is timing. You gonna lose some timing. Being out a month, you gonna lose some timing.
But see, their pass game wasn't that different. He was a lot of run to keep things going. So, I mean, you're right on the timing. That would be off probably, but I just think with his, I think he'll be fine. But I don't know if it matters based on what Zay was saying. The end of the schedule looks like either.
Yeah, that's the biggest part about it is the schedule.
Right?
Is they're gonna drop him in the midst of playing 6 ranked teams.
Yeah.
Coming back from injury. Yeah, that's what's the concerning part.
Yeah.
I mean, or do you think that they're going to look at that and say, okay, Mateer was hurt. Oklahoma was playing really, really well before he got hurt. Because Brent Venables is another one of them coaches, man. His seat ain't warm. I mean, it ain't cold. His seat is warm as hell. Because he has not been good at Oklahoma. So are they going to probably look at, okay, Mateer went down. That's why Oklahoma's season went down. And they're going to excuse him because he can't afford to go 6-6, which he's probably going to go 6-6.
He can go
Probably
6-6
worse.
this year. With Mateer being out, he can go 6-6 and be fine. But the problem's going to be next year.
Yeah.
So I just got to see how Hawkins look before I get that far and down the timeline, because I'm not sure that they're just going to start losing games, because that defense is one of the better defenses in the SEC to me. And I think when you get to the meat of the schedule at the end, when you're close or you maybe have Mateer back, their defense is going to be better than every defense on that schedule except for LSU, in my opinion. So sometimes, man, your defense can win you games, and they might just have to just step up to home plate and just win some of these games for them and keep their head above water. So I don't put it past them to be able to stay here, man. I really don't. Like, they gave up 13 points to Michigan, 17 points to Auburn. I mean, I think Michigan got a better offense than Texas right now and Ole Miss. So them are two winnable games to me.
I think another thing about Oklahoma is we know that their defense is really good, but their offense, not being able to run the football, they really don't have dynamic receivers. Deion Burke is good, but outside of that, their passing game isn't all that great. Um, Against some of those teams that they're going to play against, their defense might end up being on the field an awful lot. And we already know that
True.
if a defense is on the field a lot against some of those teams, they're gonna struggle on the back end once you get into that fourth quarter. Um, so it depends on, man, if they're going to be able to get teams off the field. Are they going to be able to establish a running game? They have to get a running game, man. If they don't get a running game, they might be in trouble.
The big advantage they got is they have the bye week. Then they get a get right game
Yeah.
against Kent State. So
Yeah.
you have that game to get Hawkins some reps, throw the ball, try to work on the run game before you come into the state fair against Texas.
Yeah.
But the bye week is going to be huge. That kid's pretty much going to get 2.5 weeks of reps with the ones.
Yeah.
That's valuable.
Yeah.
And I think they found a number one target though, and that's what's important. The dude, the Satanega guy, yeah, how you saying that? He exploded last game, so maybe they found something with him, and they could figure out a way to get him the ball, him in the space, because he really dynamic in space.
I think he came from Arkansas.
Did he? Oh yeah, well they got stripped of everything, so I believe it.
Yeah, he's good. To me, he's better than Burke.
Yeah.
But I mean, that you just got to get him the ball. And we'll learn. We'll see what Oklahoma can do. Like I said, against Kent State, I'm not going to take too much stock in it because I think they should beat them terribly. But I want to see the game inside the game. What does the quarterback look like?
Yeah.
Is he Arch from 2 weeks ago, bouncing 15-yard outs, 10 yards in front of the guy?
So that's what we're not gonna see.
Right.
Just because he got real game reps already. He was playing SEC football last year.
Yep.
Arch is the only problem. We know Arch got a talent. Arch is the only problem. That's why I like the comparison, but to break it down, Arch's only problem is he moving too fast.
Right.
He just looks. Yeah, it's just too fast for him right now. He just got to slow down. I was just watching film on him a few days ago, and I'm just seeing him look at a target. Oh, matter of fact, it was a screen pass. They ran a screen pass where he faked it to the running back, and he turned around and threw a back screen, but he was so ahead of it. It's just like it was moving too fast. He's ahead of it. You know what I mean? That's why I said quarterback is it's a timing position. If you got good timing when you're doing RPOs and boom, as soon as I pull it right here, I don't even got to be looking. I could sit there and throw that slant right now, and I expect my guy to be there. It's timing, bro. You got to be a passer of the football.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's the whole thing. Is the game is way fast for Arch right now, and I think Arch's big problem. The worst thing that happened to Arch was that first game at Ohio State.
Yeah,
that is not an environment to make your first start in. I mean, I don't Manning, I don't Brady, I don't care what your last name is. That's not the environment to make your first start in. They should have played Sam Houston first and then Ohio State. Not that it would have made the game any different, but you could see in that game he was rattled in the first half.
Yeah.
Thank God it wasn't a night game, huh?
That's the other thing. That's the other thing. I told people Texas isn't stupid. They're not going to give you a night game at Ohio State when
They
they're
were
breaking
very
in.
smart.
There's no way that they're going. Chris Del Conte and Steve Sarkisian are going to do that. There ain't no way in hell.
Hope we play them at night next year, though.
Will it be down there though?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
they'll
it'll
probably
be a
ask
night
them to
game.
play at night then.
It's a night game.
And I know Ohio State won't say no. They'll be like, fine. Plus, you don't want to
yeah.
play in the heat down there in the middle. You don't want to play that game in 105-degree temperature outside.
We got Florida boys.
Oh yeah, y'all got the boys to do it, but you don't want to go to the game either and sit in that.
Yeah. Facts.
I'm staying in the AC watching that one.
All right, y'all. That was a good stream tonight, man. Anything else y'all want to cover before we get out of here? All right, y'all. It's a good one. We got everybody's channel scrolling across the bottom. We got our man Mossberg of Level Up Sports 10, our man FanDuel Zaya of the FanDuel Zaya podcast, our man Parlay Poe of the Blitzburg podcast, our man Post Game 86 of the Post Game podcast.
Wish.
WTP Sports Dude, City League TV. We'll see y'all again tomorrow when we got another episode of Parlay Poe with the Bread. FanDuel Zaya covers the spread. We'll see y'all tomorrow at 7 p.m. All right, y'all. As always,
if you need get my number and stuff, let me know. You want me to? We'll jump.
Yeah. I get it from Rob.
Yeah. I'll
Yes,
jump.
sir. Appreciate you.
All right, y'all be good.
all right, you
All right.
too. All right,
Peace.
Peace.
Hey, sports fans, this is Robin with WTP Sports Dude.
Good. I can't complain. Everybody can listen. You hear me?
And I'm not talking about Mickey D, but I love your coffee, so don't sue me. And I would love to drink it on the stream.
Y'all never had it to where y'all just got numb to winning, just like year after year after year after year after year.
Low post, mid post, high post, post game sports.
And we back with another banger.